adventurers! Today we're going to be doing the 20 questions book tag. We are tagged to do this by Fina from A World of Endless Pages.
Alright, let's jump right in. First question. How many books is too many books in a series?
17? I'm not thinking about Ranger's Apprentice at all. I haven't read Ranger's Apprentice in completion, so my mind may change, but that's very daunting to know that there's 17 books in a series.
Yeah, I mean they're fairly short books, but it's
right.
still... Yeah.
It honestly makes me not as excited to read it.
For me, it really just depends on how many is necessary for the series to tell the whole story. Once you get to the point where the books are no longer, where not every book is necessary to the story and they're just becoming kind of filler books, then it's too many books. But other than that, I don't really have a problem. Before we get any farther, we're going to kind of try and do these pretty quickly because there's 20 questions and there's 2 of us, so that means there's 40 answers, which could get very long. So we're going to try and blow through them pretty quickly. How do you feel about cliffhangers?
I don't have a problem with cliffhangers at all. I like them, in fact, usually.
Yeah, for the most part, especially if the next book in the series is out.
I guess the exception for me would be if I didn't like the book as a whole and then they left on a cliffhanger, they finished on a cliffhanger, because I don't want to pick up the next book, but I'm still upset that I didn't get that wrapped up.
Yeah. Hardcover or paperback?
I like hardcover if it's a thick book, a fat book, and for a lighter, skinnier book, I prefer paperback because they don't open right when it's a hardback and it's a really thin book.
In general, I prefer hardback, and I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only people in the world who does. Maybe, probably not, but I'm in a minority, I think. Favorite book?
We kind of narrowed this down a little bit from favorite overall book to favorite book we've read in 2020. So for me, that would be The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak.
Yeah, for me, that would either be The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway or Dawn of Wonder, which I didn't grab, and that's by Jonathan Renshaw. Least favorite book?
So the book I chose least favorite for this year would be The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. It was a really well written book, but it didn't fit with me at all. I didn't end up liking it overall.
I think the book that again, of this year only, that was my least favorite, was probably Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I didn't dislike this book. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that of all the books that I've read, it was my least favorite. Love triangles, yes or no?
No, just no.
No.
They never are. I haven't seen one done well. So, I've seen one done well, we'll put it that way.
Most recent book you couldn't finish?
All Things Bright and Beautiful, which I thought I grabbed it.
You probably left them.
I guess I didn't grab it. All Things Bright and Beautiful by James Herriot, and I still plan on finishing it, but I keep saying that and I haven't finished it yet.
For me, I chose Wicked Gleam by Risa Faye. I don't know how popular this book is or if it's even known that it exists to most people, but I started it and it was a genre that I don't like, and I figured I probably wouldn't. It was also on my phone, so that was a part of it, and I just didn't finish it. A book you're currently reading?
The Brethren Rise. That's what we got behind us there.
Yeah, same. I've got Lord of the Rings, which is the Fellowship of the Ring, and I'm also reading kind of at the same time. I'm not entirely sure how I'm doing this, and I don't know, I'll talk more about this in the vlog. Rhythm of War. I'm also reading that at the same time. Last book you recommended to someone?
I think it was The Book Thief. That's the last one that I can place where I really, really hyped up the book so that the person would read it, and they didn't make it through, and it made me sad.
Yeah, I think the last book that I recommended was probably Dawn of Wonder, which I'm not sure. I'm not even positive if that's the case, but I think it probably was.
You recommended it to me.
Yep. Oldest book you've read by publication date?
I think by technicality it would be the Bible, the King James Version. But I also picked some fictional works, and so I have Macbeth, which is published, the publishing date for that is 1623, and I also have Paradise Lost, which is 1667.
I think the oldest one that I have read is Pride and Prejudice, which was 1797.
Also, Beowulf is a thing, but
yeah, I haven't read it.
You haven't read Beowulf? I've read it like 3 times.
Good for
I didn't
you.
understand it.
Right.
I don't know what
I'm continuing on. Newest book you've read by publication date?
That would be The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Once again, this came out in May of 2020, I believe.
For me, that would be Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. This came out in 2017, and I don't remember the month, but it came out in 2017. Favorite author?
Louisa May Alcott. You guys already know this one.
J.r.r. Tolkien. It's like some of these questions I'm sure you'd know the answers to already.
Yeah, but to be fair with this one, I don't think I've read enough of one other author besides Louisa May Alcott to say definitely that I love them or I love they're my favorite author.
Yeah. Buying books or borrowing books?
I think buying for me. There's a certain aesthetic to getting books from a library and coming home with a stack of books that you get to read in 2 weeks or whatever, but I think in the long run, buying.
I definitely prefer buying them even if I don't like the book or I've never read it or don't know if I'm going to like it. I'd prefer to own it so that I'm not required to read it in any specific time. A book you dislike that everyone seems to love?
Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. Something was off with this book. It didn't fit with me.
For me, this would be A Tale of Teokoti, or Two Cities.
Hey, you know what?
A Tale of Two Cities.
I don't like rewriting things.
There it is, by Charles Dickens. I don't know why I didn't like this. It just didn't work for me when I was reading it for school. Probably because I was reading it for school. I do need to reread it, and I think I'd probably like it and respect it a lot more if I were to reread it. Bookmarks or dog ears?
Bookmarks.
Yeah, bookmarks or nothing. Lots of times, especially when I was younger, I would either have the page number memorized that I was on, or else I'd just go to the end of a chapter and then know exactly what chapter I was on.
Never worked for me. I always have to have bookmarks.
I have a different type of memory than you do, though.
That's true.
Alright. A book you can always reread?
Do you guys even need this answer? Little Women.
The Hobbit. Can you read while hearing music or listening to music?
I can. It really depends on the book and the mood I'm in, and how settled my mind is at that time. If I'm scatterbrained as it is, I'm not going to be able to sit down and listen to words with lyrics and whatnot. In general, I only listen to instrumental music or maybe live music if I'm somewhere where I'm at a music lesson or something.
Yeah, same for me. I can't listen to words with lyrics unless it's like...
Words with lyrics.
Songs with lyrics. Unless it's like Christmas music that's playing in the background downstairs in my house when I'm up in my room with the door shut, but I can still hear the music. Because, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't bother me then. But for the most part, I need to have instrumental or classical or...
music.
Yeah, not something... I also can't have things that are too upbeat or peppy or have too strong of a beat. It just messes me up.
You just need white noise.
Pretty much. One POV or multiple POVs?
This can be done really well with multiple POVs, but I'm finding in general I prefer one POV. Especially, I mean, in first person, obviously, but...
I don't think I care. I don't think it matters to me which one it is. I mean, I guess I don't have one right there, but the Stormlight Archives follow multiple different characters each book, and it doesn't bother me. It just makes me want to get back to the next character faster. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days?
Usually over multiple days. In fact, always, I think.
Yeah, I'm way too slow of a reader, and I just simply don't have the time to sit down every day and read a whole book. Unless, I will say, the exception would be The Old Man and the Sea, which I'd read like 10 pages of one day and then the rest the next day. I mean, it's only 127, I think, pages. Yeah. 127 pages, so it's not like it's a long book. So that would be the exception. And then the last question is, who do you tag? We have kind of gotten to the point where we don't really tag people because we end up tagging the same people over and over again, and I don't think that's very fair or fun. So we did tag somebody this time though, and that's Kayla Linzen. If you've already done this this book tag, great. You don't have to do it again unless you want to.
I'm so glad you gave her permission to not do it.
I think that's it for this video. We will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Stay warm.
Can you insert tea sipping sounds?
No. Not without you going and finding me a tea sipping audio file.